Hello students. So in this lecture we'll learn about some more styling properties. In the previous lecture when we are studying about drop-down box, we came across one styling property that was box shadow. Okay. Here we have commented out. Today we'll study this styling property. Okay. So here we'll give the format. Here we'll CSS styling will give the topic. Okay. So we'll use our box shadow property. Suppose we'll like create a div, we'll write something inside this div. Okay. Suppose here we'll now apply the styling. Inside this we'll target the div and we'll apply the box shadow property. Okay. So now we are mentioning the box shadow property. Okay. So we'll use the box shadow property. Okay. So here we'll give the width of the shadow. Okay. So we'll suppose give a 2 pixel and 2 pixel width. Okay. This is the horizontal shadow and this is the vertical shadow. Okay. So suppose we have given a box shadow to this div. So let's save it and see. We'll go to our selected page, page 17.html, and we'll refresh it. See here, like it is. Suppose I will adjust the, will give some more styling. Okay, suppose we'll give a width of 100 pixel. We will give height also like 100 pixel. Then you can give uh, background color. Yellow, green, suppose. Okay. So we'll give this so you can like see the shadow. See this black border here is the shadow. It is the default color of the shadow. This black color is the default color of the shadow. Okay. Suppose we can also change the color of the shadow. Suppose we want to give a gray color. Okay. So we'll give a gray color. We'll refresh the page. See now our shadow is of gray color. Suppose we'll increase the width of this border, the shadow. See now our shadow width is 4 pixel. So now it is clearly visible. So you can set the width of the shadow and also the color of the shadow. Okay. You can also add like you can also add top border or this left border, but always uh, give the right border and the bottom border. Okay, it is a good practice to use, so it will look nice. Okay. So if we are giving here like gray shadow, okay, suppose we'll increase more. We'll increase to 8 pixel and I will increase to 8 pixel. Okay, so now we'll refresh it. Now our box shadow width is more. It is now 8 pixel. Okay. We can also add a blur effect. Okay. Suppose we want to give a 4 pixel of blur. Suppose we want to give a 4 pixel of blur. Notice the change, okay, after refreshing the page. See, now a blur effect is present here. Okay, so you can also add a blur effect to your box shadow by using like this. Give the blur width. Okay, first we have given the horizontal width of the back box shadow, then we have given the vertical width of the box shadow, then we have given a blur effect, then we have provided a color. Okay, you can also reduce it to 2 pixel. See, the intensity reduces. Okay, so in this way you can also add box shadow to any particular box. Okay, so one property is box shadow and another property is text shadow. Means you can apply the shadow property to your text. Okay, here we have applied it to a box. Okay, you can also apply it to the text. Suppose here I will take h1, write anything, okay, and will target this h1 and will give a styling property as text shadow. Okay, here we can take any color, suppose we'll take violet. Okay, so you can like this box shadow property, like the text shadow property and the box shadow property is same. Suppose we'll not give a color now. Suppose we'll give a 2 pixel of horizontal shadow and 2 pixel of vertical shadow. Okay, and we'll give a color as white. Okay, so you can see the difference between border and the color of the text. Just a minute. Here we have taken heading tag. Okay, so we have given the color as white and the background color is white. So it is overlapping it. Okay, suppose we'll give any other color like red. Okay, so we'll refresh it. See, now shadow is coming in this text. Okay, heading tag. Okay, so the like to here we have given the text shadow as 2 pixel and horizontal shadow as 2 pixel and vertical shadow as 2 pixel, same as like box shadow. Okay, so we can also add a color. We can add a color. We'll add a gray color. We'll refresh it. See, now a gray shadow is appearing on our text, on our heading tag. Okay, we can also add a blur effect like we have added in this box shadow. We'll suppose add a blur effect in this. Okay, see, now our shadow is blurred, okay, by 2 pixel. Okay, so you can use these two properties, box shadow and text shadow, in your pages. Okay, now we'll know about linear gradient property. Okay, suppose we'll comment out these. Okay, so now and we'll comment out these styling. Okay, now we'll apply a linear gradient property. Okay, let's see. Okay, suppose will add a div here, like we can give a class or we can target this div only. Okay, so we'll target this div and suppose we'll add a width and height of 200 pixel. Suppose I'll give 300 pixel. Okay, and we'll give a height of 300 pixel, and then we'll add a background color to that div. Okay, suppose we'll give a tomato. Okay, now we'll suppose we'll save it. Okay, we are targeting this div. Okay, so we have given a width and height and a background color of tomato. Okay, so suppose we'll refresh it. So now our page looks like this. Okay, suppose we want to like bring contrast in this particular div. Like we want red color here, we want like yellow color here, we want green color here. So how can we do this? So we can do this, bring this contrast of colors by using linear gradient property. Like we'll use a background image property, and in this we'll use this linear gradient property. Okay, so suppose I want to give uh, like I will give a a color. Okay, suppose two color I have given here. We'll save it. See, the color contrast is showing here. Okay, so we have applied the background image and we have applied the linear gradient property in this background image property. Okay, and we have given these two colors. Okay, suppose we'll replace this. Okay, and see what will happen. See, this is of no use for now. Okay, suppose we'll remove this. Okay, and we'll see this. Now our linear gradient or our div has gone. Why? Because to work this linear gradient, minimum colors should be present here will be 2. Okay, then only color contrast will come. Okay, if only one color is present in this linear gradient property, then our linear gradient property will not work. Okay, minimum of two colors should be present here. Suppose I will give a red color. Okay, close it. Just a minute. Close it and you save it. Okay. Now when we refresh the page, see now our contrast colors are yellow and red. Okay, so I have given first yellow, so in top here yellow color is coming and then here red color is coming. Okay, so by default it goes from top to bottom. Okay, suppose we want the color contrast to go from right to left, sorry, left to right. Okay, so you can also do this like from left to right, so it is going towards the contrast is going towards right. Okay, so we'll apply our property of to right to this, like to right, and we'll put a comma. Just a minute. Suppose let me right, red, and yellow. Space between this. Okay. Now suppose we'll save it and we'll refresh the page. See, now our color contrast is from left to right. First there is yellow color, and then sorry, here is red color, and then it is yellow color. Okay. Suppose we'll change it to left. Okay. Suppose we'll change it to left. Now we'll save it and we'll see the difference. Now the color contrast is from left to right. Okay. When we have changed the to left property, see, now the color contrast is going from right to left. Okay. So you have to give the end direction where the color will end. Okay. In the left direction or the right direction. Okay. So the default is from top to bottom. Okay. But you can adjust the position like contrast, like you can give the position from left to right or from left right to left. Okay. Suppose we want to like bring the contrast diagonally. Okay. So we can also mention like here we can give right bottom. Okay. So it will uh, contrast the color diagonally. Okay. So this is the right bottom. Okay. So the color contrast is coming from here to here. See, red color is here in top and it is coming down diagonally. Okay. So you can adjust the color contrast position. Okay. By mentioning here. Okay. So you can give the background image like this and you can apply the linear gradient property in the background image, and you can also give the position and the colors. Okay. Always keep in mind that minimum color should be 2 for linear gradient to work. Okay. Then only color contrast will come. Okay. In one color we can't specify the contrast. Okay. So here, like here we are mentioning suppose the direction. Okay. We are mentioning the direction. Suppose we can also put like we can put angle. Okay. Like 0 angle. We can also put the angle in replacing the direction. Okay. Suppose we'll put the direct angle. See, now it is 0 direction. So the color contrast is from red to yellow. See, from bottom to top. Suppose we'll give a 180 degree. Okay. Now you see the difference. See, now it is not coming. Right? Suppose we'll give a 90 degree. Suppose we'll mention 90 degree. Okay. Suppose we'll have saved it and we'll go to our page. But our styling is our div is not present here because we have given we haven't given the degree. Okay. This unit we should give this unit, okay, to symbolize the degree. Okay, suppose when we are giving 0, okay, it will work. Okay, but when we are using some value, okay, some like 1 2 3 4 5 value, so you should put the unit. Okay, like in this also, in this case also pixels also, if you want to give 0 pixel you can only write 0. Okay, so it will work. Okay, in this case also you have to mention the unit in case of like any number. Suppose we'll give a 90 degree. Okay. See, Now the color contrast is from left to right, that is 90 degree. Okay, you can also give 180 degree. Suppose we'll give 180 degree. See, now it is from top to bottom. Okay, so we can add, like we can also add the direction, or we can also add the degree from where the color contrast will happen. Okay, suppose we want to add more than two colors, more than two contrast colors. Okay, suppose we want to add, suppose we'll remove this for now, and suppose I will add one more color. Okay, suppose we'll add one more color, suppose we'll add green. Okay, and save it. Then we refresh it. See, now our color contrast is between three colors. Okay, suppose we add here any other color like light, sorry, salmon. Okay, light red color. Okay, see, now our div has four contrast colors. Okay, so you can add as many colors as you want. Okay, so and you can also like mention its direction. Okay, you can also mention its direction. Suppose we'll increase the width to 800. Okay, so you can understand clearly. So I have mentioned the direction as right, left to right. Okay, now we'll refresh it and see, this direction, contrast direction, is from left to right, and all the colors are now present here. Okay, so you can apply as many colors as you can and as you want, and you can also apply the direction in which the color contrast will occur. Okay, suppose we'll like suppose we can also give the degree. Suppose we want to like 76 degree. Okay, any degree you can give here. Suppose we'll give a 76 degree C. Now it is, the color contrast is occurring in the 76 degree direction. Okay, so you can give any angle here. Okay, suppose we can also add opacity. Okay, suppose if we like will use RGBA. Okay, for using the opacity. Okay, suppose we'll use 0 comma 0 comma 255 and 0. Okay, and we'll also add a opacity. Suppose we'll give a zero point 0.2 opacity. Okay, always note that there should be two colors. Okay, so we'll give one more color. Okay, we'll give RGBA value, and then we'll put the same color. Okay, suppose here, and we'll increase the opacity to 1. Okay, this last value is the opacity in RGBA. This alpha value is opacity. Now we'll save it, and then we'll refresh it. See, from see here we have the opacity of 0.2 in the top direction, and when we are coming in bottom, the color opacity is 1. Okay, it changes to 1. Okay, we can also change the color here. Like we can also give color here. Okay, so we'll refresh it and see. Here we are getting green color whose opacity is 0.2. Then we are getting light red color means contrast is happening here, and then here we are getting the opacity 1 red color. Okay, so you can also give the opacity in using RGBA in our linear gradient property. Okay, so you can apply like many ways you can apply the linear gradient property. Okay, and the default is always from top to bottom. Okay, and you can also adjust the position of the linear gradient. We can also repeat this linear gradient, like suppose here we are not repeating the color contrast. Okay, suppose we want to repeat, like we want like in this particular space we want green, red, yellow, and in this space we want green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, and green, red, yellow. Suppose we want to repeat the color contrast. Okay, for that we have to use a repeating linear gradient property. Okay, you have to use this repeating linear gradient property. Suppose we give a red color, then green, then yellow. Suppose we are giving these three colors. Okay, suppose let's save it. Okay, and we'll refresh it. Okay, you can see it is not repeating. Okay, it is not repeating itself because this property is not only important. Okay, you have to mention its like intensity, means the area, how much area it will cover. Suppose I will give the red color as 5%, it will cover 5% area. I will give this as 10%, and I will give the yellow color as 15% area. Okay, so it will cover 5% of area, it will cover 10% of area, it will cover 15% of area. Suppose we'll save it and refresh it. See, now our gradient is repeating itself. Okay, suppose here we will increase. Suppose we'll increase to 50, and here we'll increase to 20. Here we'll increase to 30. Okay, suppose let's save it and see what happens. See, now our repetition decreases. Okay, now only 7 repetition is here 6.5. Okay, so by increasing this percentage you can decrease the repetition. Okay, suppose one more thing, you can also neglect the repetition here. Okay, neglect the percentage here, and then also it will work. Okay, see, now our repetition decreases. Okay, because we have mentioned the 20% area and 30%. Suppose we'll reduce it. Suppose we'll give it a 10 and a 15%. See, now our repetition decreases. Sorry, increases. Okay, suppose you can adjust, like suppose we'll neglect, suppose we'll give a 20% here. Okay, and we'll give a 15%. In yellow we'll give a 15%. Okay, now we'll see the difference. Okay, we'll refresh it. See, our yellow color has gone because the area yellow is covering is less than green. Okay, so always keep in mind that when you are like writing this percentage, always write in increasing order. Okay, suppose you are giving this green as 20%, you should also always give the yellow percentage greater than percentage of green. Okay, so you have to give like 25%, not less than 20%. Okay, and here suppose you are giving like 30%. You are giving 30% suppose. Okay, now see the difference. See, all the color has now gone because we have mentioned maximum uh, percentage in the right direction. Always put the lower value in the like first color. Okay, suppose we'll give a 10%. It will go on increasing order. Okay, first the lowest, then it will increase in the colors, increase the percentage of the colors. Okay, now we'll see. Okay, now it is repeating. Okay, so always keep in mind that the percentage should always increase. Okay, and always give the percentage. Okay, if you will not give the percentage, it will not repeat itself. Okay, so you have to give this percentage according to the layout you want. Okay, suppose this is like this gradient is increasing linearly. Okay, we can also uh, like give the gradient as radially. Okay, contrast grade radially. Okay, we can use like suppose we'll remove it. Suppose this will we'll add another we'll add background image, and now we will use a radial gradient. Okay, see this radial gradient property. Okay, here we can add like as we have added the linear gradient, we can add the radial gradient. Okay, only difference will be the contrast will take place radially. See, the contrast is taking place radially. Here, see, the contrast is taking place radially. Okay, first is green color, then the red color. Okay, you can also give percentage like you want 10% area to be spread in green, and we want 20% area to be red. Okay, suppose we'll refresh it. See, only the 10% area is green now, and the whole area is red. Okay, suppose we'll replace this. Okay, now see. Okay, so you can see the difference. Okay, suppose we'll mention 20%. See, so you have to adjust the percentage area to you want. Okay, you want like more area to cover, like we want green color to cover more area, suppose. So we'll give a 30% and we'll give we'll remove this, suppose. Okay, see what happens. Our most area is covered by green. Okay, and side parts sides are covered by red. Okay, the background color is red only on the sides. Okay, so you can also give it a shape to this radial gradient. Okay, suppose we will apply a circle. Okay, suppose we'll save it, and now we'll refresh it. See, now it is not getting a perfect circle. We have to reduce the space here. Okay, suppose we'll give a 5%, and here we'll give 10%. Okay, now we can see the radius. Okay, See, here we are getting a perfect circle. Okay, so you can also set the shape of that gradient. Okay, we can also repeat the radial gradient like we have repeated the linear gradient. Okay, the same way we'll apply repeating radial gradient, and we'll save it, and we'll see. Now our radial gradient is repeating. Okay, so you can like apply these types of stylings and these type of repeating properties in your radial gradient. Okay, like keep in mind this browser support. Okay, browser support of styling properties. Okay, this linear gradient and like radial gradient is not supported below Internet Explorer 9. Okay, it is supported after Internet Explorer 9. Okay, you can go to W3 schools and you can check the browser support of every styling properties. Okay, now we'll study about transform property. Okay, like what what is a transform? Okay, CSS transforms. It is basically used to like move your element or rotate your element. Okay, or scale your element. Okay, suppose we'll create another page 18.html, and here we'll use transforms. Okay, suppose here we are creating a div and I'm writing anything. Okay, suppose we'll add a styling here. In this we'll suppose style normal style will give a width of 200 pixel. Width. First we'll target the div. Okay, suppose we'll target the div and then we'll give a width like we can give a 200 pixel and we can give a height of 200 pixel. Okay, so we have given this div a width and height. Okay, suppose we want to like place, suppose we'll save it and let's see this is the layout of the page. Okay, suppose this is a div. Okay, we haven't mentioned any background color, so let's give a color background color of suppose tomato. Okay, now let's see. Okay, see, now this is 2 pixel and 200 pixels. Okay, so suppose we use it to 100 pixel and 100 pixel. Okay, now we have a 100 pixel by 100 pixel div. Okay, suppose we want to place it here. Okay, suppose we want to place this div in this position. Okay, so we can adjust its position by using transform translate property. Here we are getting transform. See, various methods are coming. Okay, these are the methods of transform property here. First we'll use this translate property. Okay, here you can give the like the positioning of this div, where you want to position this div. Suppose I want to position it 50 pixel from top and 50 pixel from left. Okay, this is the like width from top, and this is the width from left. Okay, then we'll refresh it. See, now it is 40 pixel from top and it is 40 pixel from left. Suppose we'll increase it to 80 pixel and we'll increase it to 120 pixel. Sorry, just 200 and 200 pixel. Okay. So we'll refresh it. See, now our element is placed according to this uh, direction, according to this position. Okay, so we can use this translate property to place. Suppose we'll give this. Sorry, this is the like. Suppose this is the uh, like this is the left space. Okay, and here we'll give the top space. Suppose 200 pixel. Okay, this is the this left space. First is left space, then this is 200 pixel is top space. Okay, here you can see this is 300 pixel and this is 200 pixel. Suppose we reduce. See, this is 300 pixel. First we are mentioning the left positioning and then we are mentioning the top positioning. Okay. So you can change the positioning of your div by using the transform translate property. Okay. Suppose this is one method of transform. Okay, we can also use another. Suppose we want to rotate our div. Okay, so we'll use our rotate method. You can also write here. See, you can use the rotate property. Suppose you want to rotate in 20 degree. Okay, so we'll save it. See, now our div is rotated at a 20-degree angle. Okay, suppose we want minus, sorry, I will give a 180 degree. We can also use negative sign. Okay, now it is rotated in 180 degree angle. We can also use a negative degree. Suppose we'll use a minus 180 degree. Okay. So no change. Suppose we'll use minus 20 degree. Okay. Here we are given minus 20 degree. Okay, see. Earlier it was like rotating in this clockwise direction. When we have put a minus sign, it is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So you can use this rotate method also. Okay, you can mention the degree here. For clockwise, it should be positive, and if you want your element to rotate in anti-clockwise direction, you can mention the negative sign. Next is scale property. Okay, scale method of transform. Suppose we'll comment out this. Write transform and we'll use scale. Okay, see, scale method of transform. Okay, suppose we are mentioning 2 comma 3. What it means that the width will be 2 times the bigger than the original font size, and the height will be the 3 times than the original height. Okay, suppose let's save it. Let's see. Now it is not showing because suppose we'll apply will give like will give will replace this. Okay, suppose we'll replace this. Now we'll refresh it. Okay, now we'll refresh it. See, it is now, and this is not working because we have given this scale property. Okay, it is now two times bigger, width is two times bigger, and the height is three times bigger than the original height. Okay, we'll comment this out. Okay, we'll comment this out. We'll apply the scale property in a paragraph. Okay, so you can clearly understand. A paragraph. I'm sorry, paragraph. Okay. Suppose we'll apply this property in our paragraph tag. Here, save it, refresh it. Paragraph is not coming. Here, our paragraph is not coming. But you can see our scroll bar is coming here. Suppose we'll inspect it and we'll see here is our paragraph present, but it is not showing. Okay. Suppose we'll type anything. Okay. So it is not showing. So we'll apply our styling property in div only. Okay. Suppose we'll apply this transform scale property in this div only. Okay. Okay. So we are giving the width two times bigger and we are giving the height three times bigger than the original element. Okay, refresh it. See, it is moving towards left. Okay, suppose we'll add a margin here. Margin of see here our like we have given a width and height of 100 pixel and 100 pixel. Okay, so our width is now 200 pixel and our height is now 300 pixel. So by using scale method we can increase our size. Suppose it is now two times the width and it is now three times the height. You can also mention suppose like this only you can mention the width only. Okay, suppose you refresh it. See, only the width increases here. Okay, okay. Suppose we want only the width. Okay, one more method is there, that is scale x. If you want only width to be increased, if you want the size of the width to be increased, you can use scale x and you can give 2. Okay, 2 or 3, any value you can give. Okay, suppose here we'll refresh. See, our height is not increasing, only our width is increasing by 200%. Okay, here we have given 100 pixel of width. Now it changes to 200 pixel. We have given a height of 100 pixel. It remains the same. Height remains the same. Okay. Likewise, we can also use the scale y. Means you can also change the height. Like we can change the width by using scale x. We can also change the height by using scale y. Suppose we'll save it and refresh the page. Okay, now our height is changing, but our width is not changing here. Okay, So you can change double or triple, or you can increase the size of your div or width of your div by using the scale x and scale y property, or scale property also. Okay, if you want to increase both the width and height, you can give like 2 comma 3. Suppose here you can give 2 comma 3 means your 2 comma 2. Suppose you want to increase double the width and double the height, so you can give the scale method here. Now we will learn one more method of transform, that is skew. Skew means like it skew the elements along a particular direction, like along x-axis or y-axis at a particular angle. Okay. Suppose like I will here comment it out, and suppose I will give a transform and will use skew. Okay, okay. See, I will use skew. Here we have to provide degree. Okay. Suppose we'll provide 20 degree, and it is along x-axis. Okay, if you want to skew the elements along y-axis, we have to provide another degree. Okay, suppose we will skew it around 45 degree. Okay, so we have provided the angle. Okay, this x-axis and this is y-axis. Suppose save it and refresh it. See, the elements are skewed according to the given angle. Okay, this is the x-axis angle and this is the y-axis angle. Okay, suppose we'll neglect this y-axis angle. Okay, suppose here we'll give only the x-axis angle and we'll refresh it. See, now the element is skewed along y-axis at a degree, at the specified degree. Okay, here the degree is 20 degree. Okay, if you want to skew the element along x-axis, okay, so you can also use skew x and provide the degree. Okay, suppose 49 degree I will give. Okay, so it will skew the element along x direction at an angle of 49 degree. Let's refresh and see. Okay, you can also, suppose you can also use skew y. Okay, it will skew the element at y direction along y direction at 49 degree. Okay, see. Okay, so you can use any, like you want to use the x and y direction both, so you can use only the x skew method, or if you want to skew the element only at a particular direction, then you can use skew x or skew y. Okay. Suppose here I've shown you like here when we are studying transform property, here also you can use translate x and translate y, like we have used in scale x and skew x. Okay, you can also use translate x. It will take the distance from left. Okay, suppose we'll give 40 pixel and we'll refresh it. See, now it is 40 pixel from left and top. Here we have given only translate x as 40 pixel. Here we'll remove the margin. Okay, so it will be clear. Okay. So I have removed the margin and saved it. Now I refresh it. See, now it is 40 pixel from left. Okay, so we have given the x, translate x as 40 pixel. So it is taking the distance from left. Okay, that means along x direction. If you want to like want to put the direction from top, you can use the y. It will put it will maintain this direction according along the y direction. Okay, suppose translate y, will save it and I will refresh it. Okay, so you can use translate x and translate y. Okay, now here see it is moving along the y direction. Okay, 40 pixel along the y direction. Okay, so these are some of the methods of transform property. Okay, these all are 2D methods. Okay, there are 3D methods also that we'll discuss in our next lecture. Okay, so for today I will end this lecture here.